Well, here we are once again on the Daily Huddle. Thank you so much for being with us. My name is Chase Steele Greye, and I am with my lovely, powerful friend, Sorel Kiton. We have a great topic to discuss with you today. And as always, before we get into our regular scheduled program, I'm going to give you a little joke. This is an artist joke, or an artist statement, I should say. Sorel, I have a friend who was a struggling artist for a really long time until he started doing sculptures. Guess what happened after that?
I don't know.
Believe it or not, last year, he made 6 figures. Roll that tape. That's right. Oh yeah, I got you with that one, huh? You like that one, huh, Sorel? I took you to the right and I yanked you to the left.
Oh my God!
Oh,
it was beautiful. People around the world are groaning, and some are gonna get this joke next Thursday.
Well, that's that's how it goes. I love them all, but hey, you got to be on your P's and Q's, as they say. Well,
Love it.
like I said, welcome once again to the Daily Huddle. And before we begin, I always like to check in with our people just to see, how people are feeling, what's going on with them. And we're going to start with my brother Fareed today. Fareed, how are you today?
I am who I say I am. I am doing well. I am compassionate.
Spectacular. Great to see you always. Always a pleasure to see you. I'm going to speak to somebody I haven't spoken to today. That is Miss Molly Welch. Can you hear me? She's on mute. Okay. No problem. Give her a second. Maybe she'll come off mute. Molly, no. Go. Okay. We'll go with Cece. Cece, where are you? Where are you and who will you hug today?
Oh, where I am? Where am I? I'm right here, right now. And I think I'm going to hug myself today.
Please do. Just do that right away. Right away. And lastly, virtue. I like this virtue thing. Are you there? Virtue. Okay. I'm picking the people who are muted, but that's okay. I'll go with my boy Stan. That's my main man right there. Stan, what are you grateful for today?
Wow, I'm so grateful to have a family of like-minded people like yourself, or my Daily Huddle family.
Oh, that's right. I know
that really just encourage me just by what you do to be my better self and to just bring my best to life. So I'm so grateful for that. And I'm going to hug again. I want to hug my beautiful wife today. She deserves it.
All right. You got points for that. Nice to talk to you. So, as you can see, our topic today is a topic that I've actually spoken about with a lot of people, with a lot of different artists, and I'm sure Sorel and I can unpack this very well. I like the question because the question is, how important is external validation to your self-image or to mental health in particular? And it's really interesting. Just a very quick tidbit. I have a friend who's a musician, and I was talking to him about what he does. He's an amazing songwriter, and he's a good-looking guy, and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, I realized he took all his stuff offline one day. So I called him, and I said, "Hey, what's going on? What happened? You're doing some good stuff, and then you take it all off." And he said to me, and I remember it very clearly, he said, man, been doing this for a while, put my stuff out there, and seems like nobody likes it, so I took it down. I said, what? You're an artist. These are beautiful songs. You're a songwriter. You got to keep it out there. He said, well, if they're not hitting it, I'll just come at it from another angle and I'll do something else. And I remember him saying that. And I remember thinking to myself, in my personal opinion, the artist, the true artist, does not care what anybody thinks. Like, they just do their thing. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And they will go on forever doing what they love to do. And I think it is important for a lot of people, for a lot of in this time of validations. And as Chris Rock said, we used to all want love. Now we want likes. And I was like, wow, that was incredible. What do you think about that, Sorrel?
The story of your friend and your conversation with him is the perfect segue into stating the question of the day, not just to state it, but really to invite each of you listening.
Right.
Whether you're on Facebook, driving, whether you're here in the Zoom room with us, pause and take this question in. How important is external validation to your self-image and mental health in particular? Now, my brain, who wants to be really smart and really good, automatically dismisses the question. And I say to myself, well, gosh, self-validation is my thing. I need no external validation at all, which for a human being is probably virtually impossible. So this question is inviting each of us to take a look, like to really look. Because see, it's not a bad thing to be a human being who's seeking self-validation in the context of today's conversation, which is all about health and well-being. Your well-being depends on how you leave answering this question for yourself today. And it doesn't mean that you leave answering the question, I don't need external validation.
Right, right.
It actually means answering the question the way it actually is for you. When? Right now. And however you answer it, your answer will leave you with power. So I'll tell you for myself, right? I got up this morning. I worked out. I stretched. I took a shower. I used the appropriate soaps and things, right? And so literally my head didn't get this shiny on its own. I buffed and scrubbed and why? Because I'm committed as a human being to be in your presence and to have your impression of me be good. And there's nothing wrong with that. And given that I can be with that, I can draw power from my own admission or my need for external validation. It is when I am seeking external validation and I pretend I'm not, that I am powerless. So I'm not advocating for each of you or myself or anybody to become addicted or to binge on external validation. I am advocating and requesting that you give yourself the permission to simply be a human being. And to be a human being is to want external validation. I'll just say and to be a human being who's living a powerful life is to acknowledge that and then choose. I'll take you back to our question, right? One of our questions is, how are you? And the answer is always, I am the way I say I am. So there is the human being that I am that automatically seeks self-validation. And then there's the who I am that I say I am that now says something different. And whatever it is I say, then I get to surrender to it and have it run my life. And that's where I think, Chase, that the power of this question resides. Because see, unless I can admit to myself as a human being that I seek and want external validation, I'm forced to live two lives. And that has a tremendous impact on mental health. If you want to be sane, if you want to be well, if you want to be powerful in life, then look at all the nooks and crannies where external validation is important to you, and just be with that without beating yourself up. And every time you notice it, choose. Because by default, unless you come to that point of admission, by default, you will be run by what people think, by what social media is saying, by what your significant other says. But when you flip that switch and say, yeah, I'm a human being, and right now I'm saying who I am, that's the seed of power. Chase, thank you for letting me say what I needed to say about this question.
Oh my gosh, you went straight Steph Curry on me, man. That was Steph Curry. You were way out in the back like that. Boom. You just let it go. The net. I just heard the net on that one. That was excellent. Really, really excellent. And you know what? It's so bizarre how certain questions come up at certain times, especially for me as an artist, that link directly to my life. And I think you know this, but I sing in Central Park almost every day. I have an area that I sing that people come and listen to me. It's a blessing. I love it. Right. Yeah. So there's a guy who was away for a while. He's the only other person that I know that comes there, and I know him. He was on American Idol, I think. Anyhow, the long story short is, out of nowhere, he popped up Saturday and Sunday. I haven't seen him in months. So when I got to my spot, he was there, and like 70 people were there. It was incredible. So I saw him and I went and gave him some money. He said, hey, what's up? And, he gave me a hug, whatever. And then I moved away. I was thinking to myself, I'm just being brutally honest here. Holy cow, there's like 70 to 90 people here. There's never that many people here when I'm singing. Not never, but, from time to time. So I sat and I looked at it, and the voice in my head said, don't you dare compare yourself to him. Don't you dare try and get some external validation from somebody else about who you are. You just do what you do. And when it's your turn, you're going to get up and sing. And this guy came up to me 10 seconds later. He goes, hey, aren't you Chase? I go, yeah. He goes, my wife saw you singing around near the dog around the other side of the park yesterday. She loves you. Can I get a car from you? And I was like, ooh, somebody's looking at me. Oh my God, that was so eerie. And then after that, every other minute, someone said, hey, this guy took your spot, huh? When are you going up? Another lady said, hey, are you singing after him? And it just kept coming. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I looked at him and he goes, Chase, come do a song with me. And I was up on the stage with him and we did a song together. And everyone that always sees me now saw him and I. And I tell you that story because I, like you, don't say to myself, I'm seeking external validation. I don't say that, but I'm an artist. And when I affect people, it is a magical thing for me. It makes my heart beat really fast. When they don't get it or they don't feel it, I'm not beating myself over the head, but I do feel something, right? It's like we want people to love us. However, the most important thing at the core, and I think you will agree with me, is that we know how to create our own happiness within. our own love, our own structure, our own blueprint. In the Don Miguel Ruiz book, not the Four Agreements. Oh, what is the other one? The something of love. I'll come to it in a second. There's a chapter called The Magic Kitchen. And in that chapter, it talks about how people want to give you stuff. Here, take this. Here, take this free thing. Hey, take this. Hey, take this. And if you're okay with yourself, you don't need any of that stuff. You can say, no, I'm good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm good. Hey, you want this pizza? No, I have food. I'm good. Thank you so much. What about this burger? No, I'm good. I'm full. Thank you so much. And that concept is, it's called The Mastery of Love. I highly recommend this book. Oh my goodness. The Mastery of Love.
Wow. Thank you, Chase. CC's got a question. CC, we're going to come right back to you. I don't want to forget this thought that you just triggered. I've been playing with this notion of sovereignty. You know how usually when you hear the word sovereignty, you think of nations and countries.
Right.
And lately, I've been relating to this human being over here as a possibility of being sovereign as a human being. And I totally get what you're saying, connecting it to sovereignty, that when I am sovereign and I say who I am, then my job then becomes to safeguard who I say I am. And external validation, like what's coming to mind right now is that he or she who seeks eternal validation has forgotten she or he is sovereign.
Yes. Definitely.
Right. So sovereignty at the individual level is a prerequisite for sovereignty at the level of a family, at the level of a country, at the level of an organization. So this question and what you just said is giving me the opportunity to connect the two. And wow.
And I expect that kind of high-level Scrabble word from you, Mr. Canton.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, let's go to Cece.
Yes, I love this topic. This external validation I used to pay attention to. And really, external validation is just someone's opinion. It's not really who I am, because internally, I know who I am now. So the internal conversation and dialogue is what really matters. What other people think about me, I don't even care anymore. I used to be real external with my thoughts, looking from the outside in. So I started looking inside out, because the outside is indicative as to how a person treats themselves. So today, since I am sovereign, all sovereign, because I came from the sovereign God, he only thinks good things about us. And so I'm looking at positive things about myself, and I'm thinking about, and I'm changing my thinking to always reflect on something positive, not somebody's opinion, whether it be positive or negative, because it really doesn't matter. It's just their opinion. And thank you so much for the topic today. And I pass.
Thank you for engaging, CC. Thank you.
My goodness. It's
Now, I'd love to hear from a few of you.
man.
This is the kind of topic where hearing Chase or myself speak about it is okay, but hearing you discover something and say something in the realm of human beings' addiction to external validation and the impact on your own health and well-being will make a huge difference. So who wants to play?
Good morning, Sorrel. Good morning, everyone.
Yes,
It's a very
yes.
interesting topic.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I wrote a comment in the chat where I said that we have become slaves to society. And what I mean by that is we need society's approval based on our topic. For example, let me explain that with a couple of examples. Let me take my good friend here, Chase. All of Chase's friends drives a Ferrari. So Chase has to go and get himself a brand new Ferrari because he wants to fit in with his friends. He needs the public's approval. Or all of Lizette's friends wears designer clothes, so that she has to go and get herself a whole new set of designer clothes because she wants to fit in. Now, the thing is, we are human. And as humans, we look toward the public for validation, external validation, to make sure that we are doing the right things. From a personal perspective, I have always looked at external validation. And I've always wondered if what I do, the public will approve of it. But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, it brings us unhappiness because I am not doing what I want to do. I'm doing things based on the public to get the public's approval. So I am not being me. I am not being Fareed. I am being who the public wants me to be. Okay, this is sorry. And this is
Keep going.
and this is something that I have sat and I have thought about for a long time. And I said, you know what? This has to stop. I am Fareed. I need to be me. I am who I say I am. That's one of our questions, right? As you said. And if we continue to think about external validations, then we are not going to live our life. We are going to live a life that society wants us to live. And because of that, we are allowing the public to make our decisions for us. We are allowing the public to dictate our lives. We need to take back that, as you said, that power or that willpower, where we have our choice to choose what we want to do and what we want to become and the life that we would like to live.
Wow, thank you.
All good.
Thank
All
you.
true.
And there's this magical place where I am safeguarding my sovereignty and acting and speaking and being me. There's that magical place where there's an intersection where my full self-expression as who I say I am meets with others. And they go, holy mackerel, I want some of this.
Right.
And they flock to what's like them, because my shining, your shining is nothing more than the shine where they are. And they come to that. And in that place where the two intersect, it's not external validation. It's an acknowledgement of self at the highest level. And that's where mental health lives. Fareed, you're right on the money. You want to be mentally and physically healthy. You want to sleep well. Be you, not the you think you have to be, but the you say you are. That is access to health and well-being, my friends. Ronald, you got your hand up.
Yeah, man, that's a great topic.
Bertrand, yes.
Great topic. And you know what, I would be remiss if I did not share. And I remember when I made the decision that I accepted myself as a creator. And when I decided, actually, that cost me about 10, 15 grand. But when I decided to build my studio in my backyard, that was the time when I stopped the external validation and I said, okay, I'm going to do what I want to do. I want to be who I want to be, and the world will follow. And I decided to build my studio, do all that I wanted to do. And that was the money. And Fareed, really take to your point, man, and it's so good for what Ferry bought. At that time, I was saving my money to buy a BMW. Okay? I was freaking saving my money to buy the BMW, and guess what? To fit freaking in, okay? To fit in, I wanted to buy a BMW. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna build this, and my studio ended up being the place where I actually bring all that is creation about me. I wanted to do my art. I wanted to do my architecture. I wanted to do my construction. So I built the damn thing with my hand, and I am free. I mean, there was no extra, even in Sorrel, you know, the external validation, the major person in my external validation in my life is my wife. And I didn't even seek that validation when I said I was building the thing. So I started building it, and then when she saw it was like halfway complete, that's where she started bringing me breakfast in the yard while working. She started bringing breakfast in the yard. Like I had a couple of guys working with me. She brought us breakfast in the yard. I said, okay, that's it. So that's where there was no external validation anymore. It crossed the road, and the rest is history, man. I am happy.
That's the intersection we're talking about, man.
I'm mentally free, and yes, people hang in your lips and waiting for what's next. You know, they hang waiting for what's next, man. So again, I just wanted to make sure I shared the story because you know, I was the one who seek for external validation for a minute before, you know, before anything. But now it doesn't really matter. I do feel the need. I mean, because you're right, like Chase, you know, once you're an artist, and once you put something out there, you want to see, hey, do people like it? But I'm not, you know, tied into that external validation anymore.
I got it, Ronald.
Thank you,
And thank you for bringing that up. I've been to your studio. I've been to your backyard. I know what was there before, and I'm just so excited for you.
Thank you.
There is this space where being sovereign and living the life of a sovereign person attracts sovereignty to it. So your wife brought you breakfast.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
Acknowledging your freedom. She no longer had the need to ask you why you were doing that or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's a mark of sovereignty, man. You know it's there.
Yep.
When others are acting sovereign around you.
Yep. Yeah. It's a great feeling, man. It's a great feeling.
Chase, awesome conversation, brother.
This was an hour conversation. We got to do like once a week, have an hour conversation. We need to work on that. You know what I mean? Because I got stuff in my head trying to get out like dogs at a dog park right now. I'm just trying to get out this.
The dogs out. Come on.
They just want to get in and play. You know what I mean? It's like, can we play? Mama, please let me go. But I understand.
Take us home, man. Take us home. Let's close this thing. Thank you.
Oh, goodness, man. Goodness gracious. So as we always say with our tenants when we leave, please live out loud. Laugh. Please laugh more. Get you some sleep, at least 6 or 7 hours, 8 if you're a real champion. Get out there and move as I do every day. It feels so good to move. My goodness. Always remember, eat mostly plant-based because your body needs that stuff it can use, not the stuff it's going to reject. Please give it a shot. Eat mostly plant-based. Always check yourself before you wreck yourself. And you know that's going to put you in a better place. I appreciate each and every one of you. Sorrel, as always. Man, you Steph Curry'd us today. You did. That beginning statement was like, I might need to go back and listen to that again. That was powerful. I appreciate you, brother. And To all my other beacons of light, I appreciate you so much. It's been a pleasure to be with you, the host, and be with Sorrel Caton. Go into the day with purpose and intention. You owe it to yourself and only to yourself. Thank you so very much. And we'll see you again tomorrow when we do it again. Have a great one. Peace.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Daily Huddle family.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chase.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Indeed, indeed. Oh man, come on, Sorrel. You